Fine beings, Alden here. I wanted to share with you a story on how I channeled my retreat itinerary for the Maine Magick retreat, where we will be connecting with nature spirits, the land, and the fae in just 9 minutes. I knew that I wanted this retreat to be something that really hit close to home for me. I was born in Portland, Maine. I grew up between Casco Bay as well as the White Mountains in New Hampshire. Hi Melody, good to see you. And I really wanted to create my retreat experience to be something nurturing and supportive for everyone. And while I was creating my retreat, I was like, what is the thing that is going to be the core theme for the retreat? So I was like, well, why don't I ask the land of Maine, the beautiful connection of Maine? I spent so much time when I was a child just walking the beaches in Maine and collecting sea glass and putting shells to my ear and humming to periwinkles and building fairy huts in the woods and collecting raven feathers. And it's a very special, magical land. And so when I went into meditation to channel the itinerary, immediately what came through was the fae and fae energy. And now a quick little tangent here. I ended up a couple months after I channeled the retreat itinerary doing a psychic reading session, and the psychic, without knowing anything about me, we drop into the session and he's immediately like, you have a huge connection to the fae and to nature spirits. And I was like, well, that is just so affirming, because I am planning my first retreat that I'm doing August 8th through 11th in Freeport, Maine. And the first thing that came through for me when I was channeling was the fae and nature spirits. So if that's not an intuitive confirmation, I don't know what is. And I asked the fae, I was like, well, what do you want the retreat itinerary to be? Because we already have a beautiful house on the coast of Maine with a fire pit outside and a sauna, and we'll dance under the stars, and we'll have a macrobiotic chef on site doing all of our meals. But like, what are the activities that you want to support us with in addition to the toolbox of skills that I have with crystal healing, Reiki healing, intuitive channeling, sound medicine, like your yoga, dance, breath work, and meditation. And they were really focused, the fae were really focused on connecting to the land and raising the vibration of the land and honoring the land with our presence. And so how I'm planning on doing that is through collective consciousness raising with this itinerary. So we're planning on landing in the beautiful retreat house, which is right on Harrisicot Cove in Freeport, Maine, and really just taking time to feel our feet in the grass, do a grounding meditation, connecting with each other, and we will do a meditation connecting to the land and connecting to the fae, feeling into the fae energies. I've actually gathered some crystals that are specific to fairy magic, such as Phrenite and Herkimer diamond and smoky quartz. Actually, the druids in Scotland called smoky quartz really the main crystal to connect with the fae. So that is why I'm really bringing smoky quartz into this conversation. And actually, where I grew up in the White Mountains or the Crystal Hills in New Hampshire, there are huge swaths of smoky quartz in the White Mountains, so it makes sense that I was always very connected to the fae energy there. And so we have this grounding meditation where we connect into the fae. What's even coming through as I am feeling into this meditation now at this moment, it's almost like everyone will connect to their own personal fairy that wants to sort of like guide them through this weekend experience. And we will do some offerings to the fae. So offerings to the fae are typically like a type of bread pouring milk on a rock. Anything that is organic, biodegradable is wonderful support. And I'm also getting the image of creating a crystal grid out on the lawn that we will then receive crystal Reiki healings and meditations in, and that is also sort of a temporary offering to the Fae, and then I will pick that up as well once the retreat is over. And then on the first evening we will share our first meal together with our lovely chef, who is local farm to table chef named Lisa Silverman. And then in the evening, the plan is to have a fire releasing ritual around our fire pit outside, share our intentions of what we would like to release into the fire during this few nights that we have together, and really take our time to intentionally join in community and set the container for the space that is the retreat. And also the stars in Maine are just amazing, so we'll definitely do some stargazing and connect into our star family energy as well then. And then the next morning is a lovely Friday, and what was really coming through for the Friday morning was taking a hike in the woods. There are a lot of preserves around this area. Unfortunately, the Coast of Maine is more flat, so we wouldn't be hiking up a tall hill, and there's always an option to stay within just a retreat house area and go kayaking. There are kayaks on site, or receive the sauna, or take a nap in the hammock outside, or sunbathe in a lounge chair outside. So there are a lot of options to do. You don't always have to do everything with us. But what the Fae really wanted us to do, and what's coming through again, and this also came through with the psychic, was go on a walk in the woods. Yes, Melody, hammock. It's really pretty. You can actually, if you go to the Maine Magick retreat link, which I just posted in the comments, you will see the hammock is just hanging outside. It's so beautiful. There's a photo of it. That I do digress. Walk in the woods. And also the psychic I connected with, he was also seeing us touching the trees and connecting to the tree spirits. And I had also seen this in my channeling meditation that I had connected into the Fae with. And what was really coming through was the energy of Cernunnos, which is a Celtic god that I work with, and he's specifically connected to the oak tree. And really connecting to the tree spirits, maybe even the spirit of the specific Fae that met with you in the first meditation on the first evening, and really honoring the spirits of the land, and also receiving that grounding, earthing energy from the tree spirits with our nature walk. And then on the Friday afternoon, I'm planning on doing a more traditional Maine lobster bake. Now, if you're someone who is vegan or vegetarian, we will also have vegan and vegetarian options. But I, like, as I mentioned, I'm from Maine originally, and I love just really being able to share part of who I am with you. So we're going to be either having a little outing to go to a lobster bake, probably at Linda Beans, or we'll be having another chef come in to do a lobster bake out on the lawn with corn and corn chowder and clams and lobster and cornbread and blueberry muffins and all that good stuff. Yes, very interesting, particularly the tree spirits. More on this later. Melody says, if you are on my email list, a few weeks ago, I believe I shared a poem that I downloaded from an oak tree from Cernunnos when I was living in Massachusetts. And I can't remember what it is exactly right now, but paraphrasing, it is something about the effect of, like, I am the space between the trees, I am the rustling of the leaves. There's something else, but I can't quite remember what it is right now. If you are on my email list, you will have seen that email a few weeks ago. But anyway, after the lobster bake, then the plan is to take an afternoon rest, take a sauna. I'm a huge sauna girly, and we'll also definitely be having s'mores at some point during the weekend. And Then that afternoon is when I'm planning on doing the full crystal Reiki group healing with a full crystal grid layout. So I picture it as everyone laying down. We have inside space in the living room where people can lay down, and we also have outside space. We have a garage, we have the driveway, we have the lawn. So depending on the weathers, depending on where this will happen, but I definitely see folks either laying down or sitting down, and then I will create a crystal grid around and on everyone who is receiving the healing, and I will do a group crystal Reiki healing on the collective there, as well as give a sound bath. So it'll really be a lovely afternoon of calm, receiving, peaceful energy. And something I'm also feeling called to do that I channeled at the end is do an individual tarot card pull for every person there. So that should be really lovely and magical. And then we will have our dinner. And then in the evening, I'm planning on doing a fire pit again with the s'mores, like I mentioned, some more stargazing, maybe some sauna time, and just really a lovely moment to continue to connect with community, continue to rest. I'm also planning on bringing my crystal singing bowls and my drums, so there could even be like a singing circle or a drum circle there. You never know what magic could happen as we're consciously creating with each other. And then Saturday, the next full day, we have in the morning, I am hoping to be able to take you through a Let Your Yoga Dance class. So I got certified in Let Your Yoga Dance, created by Mega Butenheim from Kripalu through Jurian Hughes this past spring. I did it in Costa Rica. It was an amazing, magical experience. And Let Your Yoga Dance is basically an intuitive flow dance where you dance through every single one of the chakras with different songs, and it is an experience of embodying joy, embodying your own self-love, community connection, and also spiritual connection. It's a very energizing and sacred experience, and it's also really about the embodiment of positive psychology. And what was really coming through as I was channeling is I'm going to do a fairy themed Let Your Yoga Dance class. So maybe I'll be sharing some songs that are coming through, sort of sprinkling them throughout my feed over the next couple of months, because it's going to be a dance to embody the Fae, to connect with the Fae, and also to really embody the inner child joy that can very much come with fairy energy. So I'm really, really excited about this. It's going to be really fun. And then we're going to have lunch. And then after lunch, my plan is to take us on a beach walk where we can collect stones and shells and maybe even sea glass. And then out of these, and driftwood, and out of these pieces we've collected, we're going to be making in the afternoon some inner child art. So we're going to have sustainable, sea-friendly glitter and glue, and just craft little fairy huts, little tableaus using things we've collected, and really focusing on that crafting, connecting to the Fae and the inner child joy. And if you want, you can make your piece to be something that you leave as a biodegradable offering to the Fae, or you can take it home and use it as a talisman, as a reminder of your time at the retreat. And then in the evening after dinner, and whatever hammock and sauna and walk time we may have, I'm planning on doing another fire circle. Whenever I go camping or am in Maine, especially in the summertime, I always love ending my day sitting around a campfire, looking at the embers, really meditating on the embers, and allowing our bodies and our brains to slow down and to find a place of peace. And what's coming through right now is we'll probably do some sharing on what our time and what our experience has been in this space, in this container together. And then I'm on Instagram. Okay. morning in Maine together, and thank you for your patience there as Instagram is glitching out. The next morning will be our final morning in Maine together, and we will do a grounding meditation, do our goodbye circle, and also potentially another craft involving doing some herb bundles for some smoke cleansing bundles to be able to really bring again another physical talisman of our time together back home with you, and those would all be with sustainably and ethically grown herbs from the Maine area, and herbs that also help with connecting with the Fae. And there are options for off-site staying if you're a local to Maine, or if you want to stay in your own hotel room. There are also on-site options with your own private room, your own private bathroom, or with shared rooms and shared bathrooms. And there are also custom payment plans available, as well as need-based scholarships. So if you're interested in any of this, you can go to aldensenergyhealing.com/Maine Magick Retreat, or you can email me at aldensenergyhealing@gmail.com. The last day to sign up for the retreat is July 25th, 2024, and the retreat is August 8th through 11th, 2024. If you have any other questions about the retreat, you can email me. There's also a downloadable PDF of the itinerary on the website, as well as images of the retreat house, the retreat space, and some FAQs if you have any other questions. The deposit is only $222 to secure your spot, and then after that, the payment plan depends on what is working best for you. So I hope that this inspired you, lit a fire underneath you, maybe even to just do some of these own things on your own, like do some found arts and crafts on your own, in your own space, to bring that connection to the Fae, to bring that inner child joy. But if you would like to connect with me and to connect with other people in the Alden's Energy Healing community, I would love it if you could join us for the Maine Magick Retreat, August 8th through 11th. And I hope you have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of your day. All right, bye.